Welcome back. This is episode 217 of the Veterinary Business video show. In this episode we'll hear about the three key attributes common to all successful practices, and we'll hear why so many veterinary graduates are reconsidering their role in the profession. We'll learn one way of addressing any concerns a client may have about the cost of veterinary care. We'll hear about a magic management formula for getting stuff done, and I'll offer you my quick business tip for this episode. I'm John Sheridan, and this is the video show from Veterinary Business. What is it, do you think, that differentiates a successful practice from one struggling to achieve the success it feels it deserves? The first question, of course, is how you measure success. If it's a mix of client satisfaction, high professional standards, happy staff, and generating a healthy profit, then the must-have needs of a successful practice would certainly include strong leadership, a clear vision, a business plan, skill development, strong relationship with clients, grit, determination, and being prepared for change. Interviewed at the New York Vet Show last year, Alan Robinson describes unsuccessful veterinary groups as the ones that get caught up in what he refers to as the busy trap. They keep working and working and not really getting any results. Here's a clip in which Alan defines the three key attributes which he sees as being common in successful practices.
When we approach practices, and I've been doing this work now for a good too many years, and we are very good at finance, we're very good at marketing, we're very good at HR, and we can help practices learn the basic management skills. And we take them through a curriculum. The way we work with practices is we provide a group coaching program, so 10 or so practices, several members from each come together for 2 days every 2 months, and we take them through a curriculum of finance and marketing, but we also look at some of their personal development skills as well. So a lot of communication skills, a lot of self-analysis around profiling things. And I've been doing this for a long time, and there's a lot of other consultants out there doing very similar work, but you kind of get the feeling nothing much changes in this profession. We're kind of caught in a bit of a groundhog day of we're saying the same stuff. Even here at the New York Vet Show, some of the talks are talks that have been talked about for many years, and I'm guilty of that as well. One thing we've come to realise that there's a basic set of attributes that differentiate successful vets and veterinary practices from the ones that get caught up in what we call the busy trap of just working and not really getting those rewards. The three things we find is, one, having a sense of vision and purpose, because somewhere along the way we get that sense of purpose taken away from us. Because most of us are vets because we believe in animal welfare, we believe in making the world a better place through animals and animal health, etc. And then we're conflicted with a corporate commercial enterprise that is almost the antithesis of that. And I don't think most vets work that out, of how to manage that dichotomy. Because of our schooling and our college and the social expectations, leave us in this position of saying commercial's bad, animals are good, and we can't bridge that gap. So first thing is that sense of vision and purpose and broadening out their view of that. Second thing is that most vets get sorted into what we call a fixed mindset. Their thinking is channeled into just clinical, just fixing things. And interestingly, the selection criteria at universities and at high school is very much as a high intelligent, highly focused, achievement orientated profile. And that doesn't give you a lot of leeway to develop other skills, particularly business skills. So there's a bit of a trap in becoming a good vet that actually lets you down later on in your career. So that sense of resilience and growth mindset is the second thing we teach people, and we're actually teaching graduates now, and we're finding we're still having to teach 35, 45 and 55-year-old vets these basic human skills because they were just eliminated from their lives early on. And the last thing is this formulation of what a commercial business looks like, and that's those four elements I mentioned earlier. One, certainly a clinical outcome, need to practice very good medicine. Certainly a financial income, we need to be rewarded for the value we create. A client experience outcome, which is different from the clinical one, and how can we promote team harmony and performance. And if we can achieve that, we have a successful practice. But believe me, it's not an easy gig.
Now let's see who's on the video show Soapbox. Much of the recent debate in the UK about the health and well-being of the veterinary profession in general, and veterinary practice in particular, has included a reference to the difficulty in recruiting competent and confident new and recent graduates, a large number who report that they're disillusioned by a career in practice, and concerns about the growing level of graduate debt not being matched by the remuneration graduates can expect to service that debt and offer a realistic standard of living. Clearly the problem isn't confined to the UK. Here's a clip from Amanda Landis-Hanna, a vet and senior manager of veterinary outreach for the PetSmart charities.
Of course, I love being a veterinarian, but I saw some really interesting statistics that were released from the AVMA that showed that from graduates who are between 0 and 9 years out, so our newest, youngest graduates as they're first coming out of school, up to 40% of them said that they may not consider going into veterinary medicine if they realize the difference between their debt load and their salary as they're first getting started. So essentially that differential between the very high cost of the student loans and the not as high starting salary. So that's potentially 40% of our young veterinarians who are feeling not only very much stressed, but who are reconsidering why did they go into this in the first place.
Now for a tip from the top in the business world of veterinary practice. One of the benefits of a staffing strategy based on a relatively high number of support staff per vet is that practices can allocate more staff time building a strong long-term client-practice relationship. It's a matter of judgment, of course, for any individual practice, which must judge the value of the additional staff costs on the one hand and the greater opportunity for generating income on the other. Here's a clip in which Wendy Myers suggests that a nurse or technician could offer a preview service as one way of addressing any concerns a client may have about the likely costs involved.
You know, a pet owner may not budget for routine preventive care and actually be surprised at the cost. A pet owner may spend nearly $700 for a pet's checkup, including the exam, vaccines, diagnostic testing, and refills on 12 months of flea tick and heartworm preventatives. You can prevent those awkward financial conversations at checkout by simply having the technician preview today's services before care is delivered. This lets you determine whether the pet owner has money concerns and then discuss them in the privacy of the exam room. The technician would say, "Good morning, I'm Susan, the technician who will be assisting Dr. Smith. For your pet's checkup, we'll do a nose-to-tail exam, vaccines, heartworm tick test, an intestinal parasite screen, and refill 12 months of preventatives. I'll take a brief history, collect samples for testing, and get your pet's vital signs. Then the doctor will begin the exam. Does your pet have any health or behavior concerns you want to discuss with the doctor?" Now, previewing this list of services may prompt clients to ask about the cost of care. When clients want to know prices, prepare a treatment plan, or access fees on computers in exam rooms, then say, "Before deciding, let's have the doctor perform an exam and help you prioritize which services and products your pet will need. If the dogs miss 3 months of heartworm preventatives, a heartworm test is a top priority today." If the pet owner doesn't ask about prices, confirm that you can proceed in delivering care. Say, "Do you have any questions before we perform these services, or shall we get started?" Whether clients are visiting for preventive care, illnesses, or emergencies, be upfront about the cost of their pet's care. You'll develop trusting relationships and avoid financial disputes.
Now for my quick business tip for this episode. My business tip for this episode is based on a clip from Dave Nichol, who offers his magic management formula for getting things done in your practice.
So the magic management formula for getting stuff done is simple, and it goes through a process. Here it goes. You start by asking what is going on. You need to find out what's going on in any given management situation. So what's going on and why is it so. Find out what's happening and understand why it's happening. That's crucially important. The next step is to decide, well, what are we going to do about it? What is our objective in this situation? What are we going to do? Now, once we've worked out our objectives, then we can work out our huge action list, the things that we're going to do and we're going to commit to get stuff done. And the final step is reviewing. So what results are we getting? Review those in line with our objective. Have we met it? Yes, great. Move on to the next thing. Have we not met it? Review. How come? Why not? Ask more questions. And then you get back to your action list again. If you can pound through every problem, every obstacle you face with determination using that structure, then you will make mincemeat of your management challenges.
So what's my quick business tip? Well, it's this. You may or may not agree that there's anything magic about Dave Nichols' formula, but it makes eminent good sense to me. If you hit some sort of management, operational or other problem in your practice, step number one has to be reaching a diagnosis in exactly the same way you would address a health problem with one of your patients. Once you know exactly what's going wrong and why it's happening, it becomes much easier to take the next step, to define your objective, decide what to do, and monitor the outcome. Well, that's about it for now. I'm John Sheridan, and this has been another video show from Veterinary Business. See you next time.